Welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle DeTeach, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D. Always here trying to help you find that balance, that holistic success, that success that includes you being joyful, fulfilled, having happiness. That success that's not just based on arbitrary metrics, right? All right. And I don't know if trigger warning is the right word. People usually say that for things that are a lot deeper. This is not deep, okay? But for me, people keep bringing up the fact that it is only so many days before this holiday or that holiday, and that is triggering to me because, that it's just the reality of how quick all of this stuff is happening. Sometimes can be jarring, right? Because you look up and it's like, oh wow, okay, that's happening in 5 minutes. So, for those of you that may not be ready, we are almost a week away from Thanksgiving. And then, once Thanksgiving hits, in my opinion, you kind of roll into this like endless holiday season that just kind of starts and it just rolls, right? It just rolls and rolls and rolls until um New Year. And, if you're like me, I'm from New Orleans, then New Year's rolls right into Mardi Gras and it really kind of rolls into the summertime. Anyways, let me not overwhelm myself. Um, so I want to talk about, because we are holistic here, so we're not just talking about business and what goes on in our business lives. Our personal lives informs all of that. Our personal lives, this you can't I don't believe that people can truly compartmentalize. Like, you can kind of separate things a little bit, but what's affecting you in one is going to kind of spill over and carry over to the other. All right. I'm saying that to say the holiday season can be stressful for some people, can be emotional for some people. Um, and that's regardless of whether or not you find joy in it, right? So there's some people that it's only those things. They're not experiencing the joy of these seasons. And there's a lots of reasons for that. Like if you've lost loved ones or um, if you maybe are not going to be able to celebrate with others, that could be a factor in how you feel about the holiday, or if there's some traumatic experience tied to the holidays. So it's nothing wrong with not finding joy in it. You just might not. You may not find joy in it. For some people, it's complicated, right? I would consider myself one of those complicated people where I probably have lost a good majority of the family that I grew up with, right? My like immediate family. Um, and so it's complicated. I enjoy spending time with my family. I enjoy like, fellowshipping together. I actually enjoy Thanksgiving in particular because it reminds me of my grandmother who's not here anymore. So I feel like, even though I feel like she's with me all the time, and anybody who knows me has heard stories about her, whether they met me before or after she passed, Thanksgiving is a space for, that was her thing. She was the, hospitality. She was the home that, fed everyone. And so in the kitchen and trying to recreate some of those dishes that she made, that for me is like spending time with her. So even though that's a kind of, like bittersweet thing, I find joy in that way, in that thing, right? So if there's a space for you to find joy, I invite you to find that joy. But if there's not, that's all right too. And you're not obligated to tradition. And I think that's going to tie through to everything that I want to talk about today. You're not obligated to tradition. So if the traditional idea of a particular holiday does not fit with where you are currently, that is okay. That's absolutely okay. And you could do something different. Like a lot of people do, Friendsgiving and, or like, for Valentine's, they'll do Valentine's Day or, different things where you're spending time with the people who do bring you joy. You're finding that joy in a situation that maybe is not joyous for you, or you know, maybe the family situation might be stressful to you, or there, is some unresolved stuff. We all have that in families. We can grow and develop, change, heal, but that doesn't mean everybody else is going to do the same thing, right? So when you get back in that dynamic, it may not be a comfortable feeling or space to be, right? The point is, however you decide to navigate, that is absolutely fine. Stop being so tied to tradition, or being pressured by people to do things a certain way when that way does not work for you. So, two things that I preach in life in general, but that I want to, be clear, are a part of not just your professional life, but your personal life. But number one is boundaries. Whatever boundaries you have around, how you want to engage with people. If you want to engage with people, you have the right to that. You have the right to those boundaries. And with, the holidays and family, a lot of times that is a difficult thing to navigate. Last holiday season, I actually did a talk for one of my organizations about, boundaries and holidays, about, making sure that you're not allowing the holidays to overwhelm you. And it was so interesting when we got into that part of the conversation, like how many people, it was like a therapy session almost of, well, my mom, does this thing, and it's so hard for me to like, accommodate this with kids, and, or, this one wants to get everybody get together, or everybody wants a gift, and that's not always feasible. You have to think about, as parents of adults, understand that you've had traditions with them from little, but now they are starting their own families. And give them space and grace to figure out how to fit those things together. Because they may not be able to do the 85 things that y'all did during the holiday seasons when they was little, because they got 25 new things that they want to do with their family. So maybe they're gonna do 4 or 5 things um of the past. Like, what are the best ones? And let's let's one, set boundaries for ourselves, but two, on the other end of the situation, give grace and allow them to figure things out, right? Look out for the ones, like I'm switching to, just more global. Look out for the people in your life that you know that the holidays are going to be hard for. Look out for them. And if you can include them, if they want to be included, don't be upset if they don't want that. But if not, maybe close to the season, you do something different with them. You do something to connect with them so that they can um It may not be connected to the holidays, but they can still experience some joy and some companionship during this season. Um, so I talked about the boundary side of things. The other thing is making your own path. And I talked about that a little bit, like with the, younger family, and you're trying to, do whatever works or whatever for your new family. But even if you've been around the block a few times, I know, some years ago we renegotiated what the Christmas holiday looks like for us. Um, we host for Thanksgiving. And, for some people that's too much too, right? If that is too much for you, get takeout. Go, get it catered. Go to a restaurant and meet up if that's what needs to happen, right? Don't feel like, oh, I'm not, this, that, or, the other if I don't do all these things the way, again, back to that tradition, the way that they've been traditionally done. Make your own path. Do what makes sense for you and your family. Or if it's just you, for you, right? Do what makes sense. Um, And, I'm going to just say, do what makes sense for you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, even if you, are thinking about your family as an entire unit, they may have different ideas about what makes sense, but you may be the person that has to execute it. And that's how we renegotiated Christmas. We had all the stuff that we were accustomed to doing, but I was the person like managing it all. And I was like, no, if y'all want to stick to these traditions, then we have to switch some stuff around and somebody else has to take over this part or um this part has to get eliminated altogether, but we can still do these parts that we all agree that we love, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I believe in all things that there is a path that is unique to you. There are, ideas and standards, and you might, you know, scroll past something on social media and say, oh, wow, that's for me, right? I really, I really resonate with that. Or you might take parts of a thing, right? You might say, oh, well, I like that, but I don't really like that. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But give yourself permission to redefine this season in a way that you get what you need to get out of it. And again, for me, I want to get joy and enjoyment out of it, right? That might not be the goal for everyone. It might just be getting through it. It literally might be just getting through it. But making sure that you are coming out without being unduly burdened. Making sure that, you know, you are setting yourself up for success and enjoyment, not for additional burnout. Not that you're spending this season just tired and aggravated and, oh God, I gotta go get one more gift and I gotta go to one more event and I gotta go to. If you're feeling like that, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And there's some things that you may feel obligated to, and that's fine, but it shouldn't be to the extent that you are not having joy. It shouldn't be to the extent that it is overcrowding your plate to where you're not able to do the things that you actually want to do. So think about that this holiday season. Love on people real, real hard because this world is, ooh, there's a lot going on in this world right now. There's a whole lot going on. And, whether you are conscious of how it is impacting you or not, it is impacting you and others around you in different ways. Some people in, more ways than others. Um, there's a lot of people that were out of work for stretches of time. There's a lot of, people losing, um, benefits and stability and layoffs and all these things that are happening that are changing the scope of, people's lives right now. So, that's just a reminder to be thoughtful about others, be kind, think about the people in your space, in your community, and reach out to them the best that you can and create those happy spaces and stop making them stressful for people. Really, really stop making them stressful for people because they are experiencing enough stress, again, whether it's conscious or not, without you adding to it. So let's add joy to each other's existence. Let's try to make things easy on one another. Um, for those of you who are hosting things, or you are the main person in charge, then make sure that you are being mindful of yourself, getting help where you need it, and just not backing yourself into a corner, right? um there are other people that can do other things. Like I said, I enjoy cooking for the holidays. I don't want you in my kitchen, per se. I get a little sous chef here and there, but I don't for the most part. But that doesn't mean you can't wash a dish or you can't sweep a floor or mop or, whatever. So balance out some of that responsibility, balance it out. And again, if you need to just make it easy, call a caterer right now. You know, as soon as we are done, go book that caterer, see if somebody still has a spot available, or book that reservation and just enjoy each other. So that's it, y'all. That's what I got for you for this week. I just want you to be mindful of respecting yourself, respecting your boundaries, and taking temperature for yourself and for the people that you love, to make sure everybody's okay, everybody's good during this season, because it it's like work starts to kick down, once the holidays come, and not necessarily, but I mean in our minds, we just like circle back next year. But work starts to kick down, but on a social and emotional side, everything starts to kick up during this season. So be mindful of that. Take care of yourself, take care of the ones you love, and have fun. Have a little fun. Have a little fun. Like I said, even if it's non-traditional, if it's, maybe you're not spending the holiday with family, or maybe it's a tough time, you know, what you want to binge watch, or what movie do you want to go see? What thing do you want to do that brings you to another space, that can bring you to a space that may be a little more, um, maybe a little more caring and comforting for you during this time period. All right, off my soapbox. Enjoy as much of the season as you can, and take care of yourself. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.